Good morning, everybody. Welcome to English 107. It's term one. My name is Jackie Pierce. I am your instructor for the term, and I will be coming to you every week, just like this, with what I like to call my weekly walkthrough video. In it, we will go through all of what you should be doing during that week, during that unit, in order to successfully pass with flying colors English 107. So please make sure that Monday videos become a habit for you. It is helpful. The people who watch them automatically tend to do better because they get what's going on during that week. Sometimes when we're taking online classes and we're just looking at the materials that are online, it's hard. It's easy to miss things. It's easy to miss a key component of one of the assignments, for example. So that's one of the reasons why I do these videos, to help you make sure that you catch all of the requirements and that you do all of the things in order to be a successful student in our course. So with that in mind, we're going to take a look at Unit 1 because we have to start somewhere. When you first log in to your Blackboard, you will be on the announcements page. So sometimes there'll be written announcements as well. Make sure you always look at the new announcements. You will be notified of them in your email as well. So, and I cannot stress this enough, while you are a student, it is absolutely crucial that you check and use your post-created student email account. I know that many people don't even check email anymore because we are, reliant on the web, we're reliant on apps. Please, please, please make sure you check your email. It's not only because I will send you reminders, but the school does as well. And if you're out of touch, it's really easy to get yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. So, PSA, check your email. In Unit 1, we click over here, we're going to be talking about the power of grit. Grit is a pretty popular topic, especially in leadership circles these days. And you'll find that a lot of our concepts apply not only to being a good student, but also to being a good citizen, to being a good worker, all those things. So each week, you're going to have readings and videos that will introduce that topic to you. So here's the overview. I'm not going to read that to you. You should be reading it. And then you have the very next thing you have is an introduction discussion board. Now, typically, you won't do a discussion board until after you've done the readings and watched any videos and things. But essentially, you want to make sure that every week you do the things in the order that they come. So this week, your introduction is just about yourself. So you don't need to read anything to know about you. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and click on this first link, which is the introductory video. The introductory discussion board. I have too many words in my head this morning. And the directions are right here. You don't have to click on it yet to see what you're going to be writing about. Tell the class a little about yourself. This course is designed to focus on different topics and subjects that matter to you. So we want to know what you're interested in. Share 3 items that mean the most to you and explain why. Then share your writing story before coming into this class. How comfortable are you with writing? What is one question about writing that you have? You also, each time you have an assignment, you have a rubric so that you can just see clearly what your grade is based on. So let's go ahead and look at that rubric together. It's got all of the instructions each time, and then down below, it's got the rubric. So when you get your grades back, you will have a score in each of these categories. Now, in discussion board 1, it's only these first 2, but this is the discussion board rubric for the whole term. So you may want to take a look at this now. The ones that are grayed out don't apply to Unit 1, but they will to all of the others. Okay, so make sure you look at the assignment sheets and rubrics. They have very, very, very important information. Sometimes I will go over them too, just like this one. Okay. All right, so now we're ready. Excuse me. Now we're ready to post. So we click on this link. Yay, we've already got a couple of posters. When you are ready to post, you click this button that says Create Thread. And we're going to make this the sample intro BB with me. All right, so there's my introduction. You can also, and I really encourage you to include a picture. You don't have to, but it's kind of nice to be able to see each other. So I'm going to include a photo that also kind of illustrates things I care about. There I am with Indiana Skywalker Jones. I'll make this smaller though, because good grief, Blackboard puts pictures in large. That's plenty big enough. All right. And again, it's optional, but if you do include a picture, it just helps everybody kind of get to know you a little bit better. So we will then click submit. So you'll see it's now listed up here on the discussion board. And when you go to read people's, you just click on the little title. You'll notice it's still bold here because I haven't opened it yet under this account. So that's how you do it. Easy peasy. With the discussions, even though they are sort of informal, I do want you to keep in mind that it is a public forum. So all your classmates can see what you have written. In fact, they're going to respond to you in most of these. You want to take a little extra time to make sure that they are proofread and all of that good stuff. You also are going to be downloading, or hopefully downloading, Grammarly Premium this week as part of your assignments. And that is going to correct your grammar for you even while you're typing on something like a discussion board or a social media account. It's a really great tool. So we'll get to that in just a second, because you can see even right now, you can see the title down below. Next up will be basically your homework, your reading assignments. You have an article on grit. You have an article on the leader's way every day. Notice I talked about that a little bit. Grit and some of these other terms do apply to leadership. You have a video about grit by Angela Duckworth. So you want to make sure you watch all the videos that are included. And then you have two things. This is just a PDF about how to submit an assignment on Blackboard. I'm actually going to show you, but this is a guide that you can always come back to. And then you can have a link to a previous course and how they talk you through how to submit assignments through Blackboard. So you've got two things here on making sure that you know how to submit your assignments. With a discussion board, you really just click on the discussion board, create thread, and hit submit. But when we come to our what are called formal writing assignments, those are going to have to be done a little bit differently. So that's what that refers to. Grammarly Premium you have access to as a student at Post. Please do it. Please create an account, register, do all the things. It has to be done with your Post student email, which is how you get it for free. You can also install it on your web browser. It's going to help you, like I said, with your discussion boards. It will also help you proofread and edit your email. And you can add it to Microsoft Word as well. Next is a practice. Practices are interactive lessons. You click on the link, and then you start in Unit 1 and work all the way through. Okay, almost every single week you will have one of those. That is where you really do some deep learning. So make sure that you don't skip over those, just like not skipping over the readings. You've got to do the learning before you do the assignments, okay? And then finally, you have a journal this week. Now, we don't have a formal writing assignment where you have to submit it in Blackboard this week, the way that those videos are talking about, or those instructions. So I'm going to hold off until we get to one of those, but the journals are super easy to post. Journal assignments allow you to practice writing and apply what you've learned in the unit. So you never want to do them until you've done all the readings, watched all the videos, all that good stuff. In this one, you're going to talk about grit. So first, describe what grit means to you. Next, and this is really important to follow this direction, describe a person you consider a good example of showcasing grit. Now, this can be somebody you know, or it could be somebody famous. Doesn't really matter. Just, it has to be a person. So what elements of grit do you recognize in this person? And what elements of grit do you recognize in yourself? All of your journal entries need to be at least 6 or more sentences. So please make sure that you write a really fully developed paragraph for this. You can even divide it up by different paragraphs if you want to, but the journal is meant to be at least 6 to 10 sentences. And as I just said, make the journal your last activity, giving time to reflect on the unit in its entirety. Now, at the end of each unit, you will have a little heads up about what's coming next week, including your first look at a writing assignment PDF. This one is going to be more of a formal writing assignment. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you at the beginning of next week, but you can preview it here. The other thing you want to do in your first week in the course is to review the course information, how to contact me and or meet your instructor. I want to talk a little bit about the Ask the Instructor discussion board. We'll talk about that here. And then starting in week 2, we have workshops each week. Now, you guys are in a very special position because I am the one who's doing those workshops. So all of the students in ENG107 are invited to them, but you are going to be learning from your actual instructor. So I do invite you to those. They take place every Wednesday starting in week 2 at 6 p.m. And you can enter through this link. It will take you into the Teams space where that's being done. So finally, before I leave you this week, I want to talk a little bit about Ask the Instructor. This should look familiar because we just looked at the first discussion board. A discussion board is a public forum, so everyone in the class can read what you're posting on the Ask the Instructor board. I do encourage you to use it, but I also want you to use it when it's appropriate. So if you have a question about your individual grade, maybe you missed some points that you don't understand, don't put that on the discussion board. Email me, okay? But if you have a question about an assignment, how long is this supposed to be? When it says a person, could it be somebody that I know? If it's a question about how to do something, by all means, post it on the Ask the Instructor board. I've got a little visual to kind of help you think about when to post on the discussion board and when to email me. And I'm going to put that in the announcement this week along with this video. But this is where you find it. And just like before, you would hit create thread, you would put a subject, you would type your question, and then you would click submit. So do use the Ask the Instructor discussion board, but make sure it's for something that everybody would benefit from, not just you. All right. Mostly, I want to mention if you have any questions, please reach out. Like I said, either use this or email me, and I will get your answers for you. All right. Everybody, take care. I will see you next Monday, but I will, of course, be posting things in between times. So I'll talk to you next Monday. Everybody, take care.